Hello. Let's start by a small introduction on how to access the materials for the exercises. So everything is on the page list of exercises at the beginning of the exercise section. So for each of the exercises you will have to do, you get Jupyter notebooks to download or to run on Colab. So don't worry, I will explain that in the first exercise. That's what you have to fill to solve the exercise. I provide the solution, so what you should have done is written. So basically you have access to it right away. Don't look at it, and especially don't look only at it. Try the exercise first, and when you are stuck, then you can look at the solution. For each exercise, you have also two videos, one small presentation of what you have to do during the exercise. So if you go to the physical exercises, somebody will explain it, but then you know shortly what to do, and then a small comment on the solution, the main steps of what you have to do, and perhaps some additional information. So they may be slightly outdated, so they were shot in 2020. So perhaps some things have changed in between in the exercises, but not much, so they stay quite up to date. So you have that for all the exercises. So there are two ways to run the notebooks. So either on your local computer, whether you're at the university or at home, or what's simpler is to run it on Colab. So first, if you want to run it on your local computer, you should install Python and a few packages. So everything is described on this page, Python installation. So basically using the Conda environment will help you set up Python for your computer. The idea is that you download the Python notebook and save it somewhere. Then you go using the terminal to where you have saved that notebook. It's here. And you can execute it with Jupyter Lab if you installed Lab, or Jupyter Notebook, which is an older variant of it. Name of the notebook that you downloaded, and that will print a lot of things. And finally, you see a window in your browser, so with different cells. So that's explained in the first exercise that describes the task. So the first exercise has a lot of things to read first. But then you have these cells where you can print some things inside it. Execute any kind of Python code. Right, so basically that's what you have to do in all the exercises. You have a lot of text and cells where you will put in some code. That's when you run the notebooks locally. You can also choose to run them on Colab. So Colab is a service by Google, which is totally free. The only problem is that it requires you to have a Google account. So if you don't have one, you can either create one just for the exercise, something fake, or you can run it locally. That's always possible. So the big advantage of Colab is that everything will be installed in the cloud by Google, so you don't have to worry about anything. Plus, you have access to hardware accelerators. So by default, it's in a virtual machine, so some container with all the Python packages running only on the CPU. But you can also have code running on the GPU, which is especially interesting for deep learning, and even TPU, but it's not always accessible. So TPU is a kind of special hardware for deep learning, which is much faster than GPU and much more faster than CPU. So that's something you can do that will be useful at some point in the exercise when you need to train neural networks that will go much faster on the GPU. So if you don't have one on your computer, it's perhaps better to work only on Colab. The videos about the exercises are all in Colab, and that runs really easily, but you can always do it on your computer if you want. So finally, on the website, you have for all exercises also a web page, which is just a rendered version of the solution of the exercise. So you have access without having to run the notebook to what you should have done for that. So again, the advice is to try first to do it by yourself. You're going to learn much more. And only if you are stuck and you don't know how to go forward, then have a look at the solution. And here it's everything on the website.